Part 2. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section Author, 10 miles. Chapter 11. Boom. Immediately afterwards, bright rays of light shone out from the 840 million vibrating cells in Zhang Chen's body. The shadows of the statues, towering and majestic, comparable to mountains, condensed and emerged behind Zhang Chen. The vast and distant ancient atmosphere fills the entire ancestral bamboo forest. Rumble. With the appearance of the phantoms of the statues, rolling thunder swept across the 9 heavens. The boundless and terrifying sky makes hundreds of millions of living beings tremble and feel endless insignificance. That is the direction of the ancestral land. Is the holy sun coming out of seclusion? Perceiving the terrifying thunder in the sky above the ancestral land, everyone in the Taisha demon sect was alarmed. Wei Wuji and other senior demon sect officials also appeared together and looked at the ancestral land. Some of the elders of the demon sect wanted to use secret methods to he had an insight into the inside story, but was counterattacked by the terrible evil intention. It's almost time to come out. There was a bright light shining in Wei Wuji's eyes. Nowadays, there are 3,000 days house, where the wind and clouds meet, and talented people emerge in endlessly. In such a glorious world, how can Zhang Chen stay in retreat in his ancestral land? Throughout the past and present, there has never been a top powerhouse. Those who practice in seclusion. Only after undergoing the baptism of blood and fire can they continuously break through their own limits and reach the supreme peak. In the ancestral land, Zhang Chen, who exuded a vast ancient aura, slowly converged the terrifying aura around him. Behind Zhang Chen, there are hundreds of terrifying phantoms of gods, with earth-shaking divine power. Just after practicing the prison-suppressing power of the gods, Zhang Chen awakened hundreds of cells and condensed the power of hundreds of gods. It can be seen that Zhang Chen's qualifications are so terrible now. Buzzing. Suddenly, Zhang Chen felt a slight trembling sound coming from the Sumuru ring. With a thought, a bright fire like the sun appeared from the Sumuru ring. Right. It's the ancient jade of the ancient gods. The barrier finally dissipated. Zhang Chen's eyes are bright. When the divine jade barrier dissipates, the inheritance of the ancient gods will be born. After absorbing the origin of an ancient god, I don't know what amazing opportunities will be obtained. In addition, the inheritance of the ancient gods will once he appears in this world, he will definitely attract countless young geniuses. For Zhang Chen, this is another perfect opportunity to seize his origin and destiny. Coming to this world where the strong are respected, Zhang Chen will naturally focus on improving his strength. Lord. No matter how strong the foundation of the Taisha demon sect is, it still belongs to external forces. External forces will eventually be beyond reach, just like what happened in the ancient land of the gods. Therefore, Zhang Chen's first priority is to continuously strengthen his own combat power. At this time, Eastern region, Qingyun Days Hu. Boom. In an uninhabited desert thousands of miles away, suddenly there was a divine light rising into the sky and shaking the whole sky. A vast and terrifying divine power swept across unbridled, and many realms were alarmed. At this moment, countless Taoist traditions among the hundreds of Taoist states in the Eastern Territory began to perceive and gain insights. Not long after, the news spread quickly about the appearance of an ancient divine relic in the no man's land of Qingyun Days Hu. There are even powerful giants who are good at divination and deduce the inheritance of ancient gods in ancient ruins. This news made many top sects who didn't pay much attention to it become interested. After all, the ancient gods have grown up to be comparable to the immortals. To a certain extent, the inheritance of an ancient god is no less than that of an immortal creature. Xiang Immortal Sect. Is the news true? Will Zhang Chen really go to the ruins of the ancient gods? In the glorious palace, Qi Wushuan's face was cold, and his eyes were filled with cold light. Taisha demon sect has not concealed its whereabouts, the news should be unmistakable. There is even news that the relics of the ancient gods that appeared this time are related to the sacred treasures obtained by the descendants of the demon sect in the ancient land of gods. The man in armor respectfully reported, "This time, I will make him pay with blood." When Chi Wushuan heard this, the chill in his eyes became even worse, and his piercing murderous intent roared out. After waiting for several months, he finally got the chance. Nangong Ancient Clan. In an ancient building, a young man wearing an ancient robe slowly opened his eyes. This young man in ancient robes is the descendant of the ancient Nangong clan, Nangong Aishi. Although he rarely goes out for training, Nangong Aishi's reputation as a genius can rival Chi Wushuan. Will the descendants of the demon sect compete for the inheritance of the gods? Good, very good. After receiving the news from the Taisha demon sect, Nangong Aishi's eyes flashed with bright thunder. A thrilling and terrifying thunder power, like the arrival of the supreme thunder god, makes people tremble with fear. See Yuan Days Hu. An immortal palace surrounded by billions of bright divine lights, floating in the nine heavens, exuding boundless divine power. This immortal palace is the strongest overlord of the Si Yuan Days Hu, the Misty Palace. The news from the Son of God, the Xiang Immortal Sect and the Nangong Ancient Clan have all been confirmed. Chi Wushuan and Nangong Aishi will both leave the section. In addition, the descendants of the Nine Dragons Immortal Palace, the Taiyuan Immortal Clan, the Changsheng Taoist School, etc. are also preparing to go to Qingyun Days Hu to compete for the inheritance of the gods. A white-haired old man bowed his body and reported to a young man. The young man looked to be in his early 20s. He was wearing a golden divine robe and had a bright divine light rising and falling all over his body. He seemed to be an immortal god coming to the world. This man is the divine son of Misty Divine Court, Zhao Wanqi. Where is Taisha demon? Zhao Wanqi has no interest in other geniuses of his generation. The only one he cares about is Zhang Chen. The Taisha demon sect has also taken action, and the descendants of the demon sect should be there. The white-haired old man said. After so long, Taisha demon sect was finally willing to let him go. Zhao Wanqi heard a sneer at the corner of his mouth. Everyone in the world knows how much the Taisha demon sect values Zhang Chen. In fact, the Taisha demon sect even did not hesitate to do this and almost caused the Changing Rebellion. Therefore, the best way to severely damage the Taisha demon sect is to just kill Zhang Chen. Although Zhang Chen is known as the most outstanding genius in the eastern region, his reputation is so great that he is even famous in the 5 regions. But no one has ever said that Zhang Chen is the younger generation of the eastern region. The first person. Qualifications belong to qualifications. Strength is not determined by qualifications. With the news of the ruins of the ancient gods coming, in just a few days, hundreds of millions of creatures gathered in Qingyun Days Hu. Those talented people who had gained fame and experience in their respective days house in the past went there one after another. The liveliness of such a scene is extremely rare. And following the close-range sensing and detection by powerful men from various lineages, new news came out. The ruins of the ancient god are in a dusty and broken world. That is, as the saying goes, the lower realm of Sumeru. There are 3,000 states in the sky, connected to billions of lower realms. Some Sumeru lower realms are connected to the heavenly realm. After practicing to a certain level, you can ascend to the heavenly realm. But some of the lower realms of Sumeru can only be sealed in dust forever because of the broken space or broken Taoism. Obviously, the lower realm where the remains of the ancient god are located is the dust-covered broken world. The emergence of the divine relics this time is an opportunity for the creatures in the lower world. From then on, as long as they cultivate enough, the creatures in the lower realm can ascend to the heaven. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section Author, 10 Miles. Chapter 12. Taisha Demon Sect. Little Lord Yan'er, who was practicing in seclusion, was called out by Zhang Chen. Compared with a few months ago, Yanar now has undergone a transformation. With the help of Taeyan's spirit body, Yanar's cultivation has reached the point of life and death. The realm of nirvana. Of course, this is not all the work of the Taeyan spirit. After Zhang Chen said hello, Taisha demon sect trained Yanar according to the specifications of a disciple. Various heaven and earth spiritual treasures, ancient divine pills, the medicine has never stopped, and the cultivation level has naturally skyrocketed. Fortunately, Yanar has transformed into a Taeyan spirit body, otherwise the foundation will definitely be unstable. Relics of ancient gods appear in King Yun Dae's Hu, and they will take you to experience them. Zhang Chen had a slight sense of Yanar's cultivation, so he took Yanar to the demon sect teleportation platform. Sun. On the teleportation platform, there are already a dark array of powerful demon sects, hundreds of thousands in number. The leader is Qi Qingshan, the great elder of Taisha demon sect who has been fighting outside for many years. Although he is the great elder, but compared to the second elder Tang Shanhai, Qi Qingshan is completely middle-aged and strong. The positions of the elders of the Taisha demon sect, and even the sect leader, are all ranked according to strength. Qi Qingshan's strength is stronger than Tang Shanhai, so he naturally serves as the great elder. Position. However, because Qi Qingshan is warlike, Tang Shanhai assists Wei Wuji in matters within the demon sect. Beside Qi Qingshan, there are 6 young figures with astonishing aura, 4 men and 2 women. These 6 people are exactly the geniuses of Taisha demon sect, each have extraordinary qualifications. When they grow up in the future, they will be expected to enter the ancestral pool for baptism and reach the level of core elders. It is precisely because of the existence of the ancestral pool that strong men from Taisha demon sect will continue to emerge one after another. Let's go. After Zhang Chen nodded slightly, he took Yanar and stepped onto the teleportation platform. There are 3,000 states, and the boundaries of each state are vast and boundless. If you fly through the air, even the top giants will have difficulty reaching King Yun in a short time. Days Hu. Naturally, all Days House use teleportation arrays to communicate with each other. Walk. Qi Qingshan waved his hand, and the disciples of the 6 major sequences, as well as the elites of the demon sect, stepped onto the teleportation platform one after another. Hundreds of thousands of people stepped on it, and the teleportation platform still seemed quite spacious. It can be imagined that the teleportation platform of Taisha demon sect was how big it is, how astonishing it is. In fact, the Taisha demon sect's teleportation platform was built according to the standards during the immortal ancient turmoil. When the immortal ancient was in turmoil, a war would often break out, and millions of combat forces would be invested. Naturally, ordinary teleportation arrays cannot do this. Whoa! The next moment, as the teleportation platform trembled slightly, a huge array of light rose into the sky. As the array light disappeared, the people on the teleportation platform, hundreds of thousands of people from the demon sect, disappeared. King Yun Dae's Hu, border, deserted area. Buzz buzz. The void trembles slightly. Mysterious formations appeared one after another, intertwining into an ancient formation in the blink of an eye. In the magic circle, the barrier falls down, isolating and sealing off the surrounding world. Immediately afterwards, a series of majestic figures stepped out from the ancient magic circle. Is that a member of the Taisha demon sect? The great elder of the demon sect appeared in person. With such a large formation, could the Taisha demon sect want to invade King Yun Dae's Hu? It seems that the rumors are true. This is the descendant of the demon section. Looking at the dark demon sect monks and the hundreds of millions of creatures who gathered there, they were all shocked and changed their colors. The war between the 4 sects started by the demon sect in the early days has only been a few months. The forces in the Eastern Territory have naturally responded to this. The memory is still fresh. Especially after seeing the bloodthirsty and murderous Qi Qingshan arriving in person, the chill became even more intense. Look! Suddenly, a startled sound appeared. Among the hundreds of thousands of powerful demon sects, Zhang Chen, with delicate features and an extraordinary temperament, stepped out. Beside Zhang Chen, there was Yanu walking with him. After that, they are the 6 true disciples who are now famous in the Eastern Territory. After seeing Zhang Chen's true arrival, countless Taoist disciples in the Eastern Territory whispered to each other and talked heatedly. Since the catastrophe of the ancient land of gods, Zhang Chen has never been there again. Appeared. Although there have been rare phenomena in Taisha demon sect since then. But this still made many forces speculate whether Zhang Chen was dead. After all, there were rumors before that Zhang Chen was killed by the gods. Curse. But now, with the appearance of Zhang Chen, all the rumors have been destroyed without attack. Whoosh hoop whoosh. At this time, among the billions of creatures, tens of thousands of figures flew into the sky. 9 demons ancient sect, meet the Holy Sun. Tamo Mingmen, meet the Holy Sun. Ancient demon shaman, pay homage to the Holy Sun. Those Taoist traditions that appear for worship are all demonic cultivators outside Moxio days who. To a certain extent, these demonic cultivators are branches of the Taisha demon sect. Under the demon sect, no demonic cultivator can to establish a sect, you can only establish a demon sect. This is the rule set by the demon ancestor Taishu in the past when he ordered all the demons in the world. No one in the 3,000 states has dared to violate it to this day. Taisha demon sect, the demonic power is still there. Seeing that square of demon giants all saluting Zhang Chen, countless forces were secretly frightened. If one day, the Taisha demon sect gave birth to a demon ancestor and once again commanded all the demons in the world, then I'm afraid, looking at the 3,000 states, they will all know one can match him. And Zhang Chen, the descendant of the Taisha demon sect, is the most likely monster to reach the realm of the demon ancestor. You don't have to be polite. Zhang Chen opened his mouth and asked the demon giants to stand up, and then looked at the bright divine light. Deep in his eyes, there were double pupils flickering, and he could see through the divine light at a glance. In that divine light, there was indeed a piece of Sumeru lower realm. Under the ancient eyes, the broken world sealed in the divine light was clearly reflected in Zhang Chen's eyes. Even vaguely, Zhang Chen saw a majestic and boundless bright divine figure. Such vast and world-conquering divine power, like a supreme god who came from the ancient times and looked down on billions of people. This made Zhang Chen's heart move slightly. Judging from the terrifying power of the god, the inheritance of this ancient god is probably incredible. Naturally, the divine origin contained in it is not much different. Boom! At this time, a shocking thunder exploded. As the lavender thunder fell, a glorious ancient palace, riding the thunder, roared in. The momentum was extremely shocking. Above the glorious ancient palace, there were 2 splendid ancient characters, Nangong. The Nangong ancient clan is here. The countless creatures who gathered together recognized at a glance the glorious ancient palace that controlled the thunder. The Nangong ancient clan was an immortal ancient clan founded in the ancient times. It is said that the ancestor of this clan once descended from the supreme immortal thunder. In the middle, he obtained the true inheritance of Thunder Dao, which had gained boundless prestige in the ancient times. The Nangong ancient clan was born from this, and they mastered the true tradition of Thunder Dao in this era. In an instant, the ancient Nangong clan's Thunder ancient palace appeared through the air. The world-shaking Li Wei swept across. After that, figures with terrifying auras walked out of the ancient palace. These are the old and powerful men of the Nangong ancient clan. If placed in the outside world, they are enough to dominate. Among those old and powerful men, a young man with a tall and straight body and a strong momentum appeared next. The divine son of the ancient Nangong clan, Nangong is proud of the world. Although Nangong is proud of his world and rarely goes out, the Eastern Territory Orthodoxy still recognizes him at a glance. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 13. Nangong Aoshi, the most outstanding evildoer of this generation from the ancient Nangong clan. When he was born, thunder from heaven descended and gave him the supreme thunder path. Therefore, Nangong Aoshi is also an unparalleled monster in the history of the ancient Nangong clan, who was established as the son of God at birth. Although at the same young age, Nangong Aoshi's cultivation achievements were far inferior to Zhang Chen, the holy son of the demon sect. But no one has ever dared to underestimate Nangong Aoshi. Almost all those who went to provoke someone without overestimating their capabilities became the dead souls of Nangong Aoshi's subordinates. Taisha Demon Son. After arriving, Nangong Aoshi's eyes looked at Zhang Chen, who was surrounded by thousands of demons. In those eyes, there was a flash of cold thunder, which made people feel endless chill. For those unabashed killings, Zhang Chen naturally sensed it. After turning his head and glancing at Nangong Aoshi, Zhang Chen withdrew his gaze. He had just stepped into the virtual god realm, and in his eyes, there was no difference at all from ants. But Zhang Chen and others, the expression of indifference made Nangong Aoshi's eyes darken, and his murderous intent became even more intense. Zhang Chen's indifferent gaze obviously did not take him into consideration. Chirp. At this time, there was a crisp crane sound. In the distant sky, immortal birds and auspicious beasts filled with divine light flew in the air, and mysterious sounds spread. Above those immortal birds and auspicious beasts, stood a series of terrifying human figures, with a pressure that shook all spirits. Xiang Immortal Sect. The Dao Tong who arrived this time is one of the overlords of the eastern region, who is as famous as the Nangong ancient clan. Above the crane headed by it, a divine light shines like a young figure of a god coming to the world, gazing at the hundreds of millions of people gathered. All living beings. In the end, the man's eyes fell on Zhang Chen, with murderous intent piercing his bones. The descendant of Xiang Immortal Sect, Qi Wushuan. Qi Wushuan is another peerless genius. When he was born, an ancient crane came with an ancient treasure. Therefore, Qi Wushuan not only received the true inheritance of Xiang Immortal Sect, but also had a mysterious inheritance in his body. He is also one of the most active top geniuses in the Eastern Territory in recent years. Especially after his defeat at the Taisha Demon Sect, Qi Wushuan has been walking around in various states, challenging the geniuses of all parties. In today's hundreds of states in the Eastern Territory, Qi Wushuan, his reputation has reached its peak. Because even the heirs of the top Taoist traditions all ended in miserable defeats in front of Qi Wushuan. This also made the Xiang Immortal Sect, whose reputation was greatly damaged due to the battle between Taisha Demon Sect, no one dares to talk behind his back anymore. Let's not talk about the top combat power. Among the younger generation, Qi Wushuan's combat power is indeed top-notch. At the very least, Zhang Chen's combat power in the past was far inferior to Kai's today. Wushuan is so terrifying. However, Zhang Chen didn't even look at Qi Wushuan's murderous intention this time. Nangong Aoshi, Qi Wushuan, and others, in Zhang Chen's eyes, are just fat sheep waiting to be harvested. Waiting to enter that patch of beard, we can just catch them all in one fell swoop. Now it's just a waste of time to look at the big ones and the small ones. However, Zhang Chen noticed that among the 6 major sequences behind him, some people also showed strong murderous intent. This murderous intent was not directed at him, but towards Qi Wushuan. Did you have any issues with him? Zhang Chen said. The pair of Qi Wushuan who showed murderous intent were none other than Zhou Wuxiang of the 2nd rank. Of course, with the death of Su Jinwuo, Zhou Wuxiang also became the 1st rank. He was in his early 20s. His cultivation reached the peak of the life and death realm, and Zhou Wuxiang's aptitude was also extremely amazing. Vaguely, Jiang Chen also sensed a special bloodline aura from Zhou Wuxiang. Obviously, Zhou Wuxiang's potential has not yet been fully awakened. I fought against him half a month ago and was defeated by him. Hearing Jiang Chen's words, Zhou Wuxiang immediately returned, with strong reluctance in his tone. Although Qi Wushuan had entered the divine realm, Zhou Wuxiang still couldn't let go of that defeat. When you enter the lower realm of Sumeru, I will help you enter the divine realm and give you a chance to kill him. Jiang Chen quite appreciates Zhou Wuxiang's fighting spirit. In the process of cultivation, qualifications are indeed very important, but firm will, etc. are also indispensable. Cultivate Zhou Wuxiang well, and his future achievements will not be too bad. Thank you, Holy Son. Hearing this, Zhou Wuxiang's eyes sparkled with bright light. He has been in the realm of life and death for a long time, and has been unable to touch the divine realm. If Jiang Chen can really let him set foot in the divine realm, then Zhou Wuxiang will be confident Qi Wushuan was suppressed. The other disciples looked at each other, and they were all a little excited. Since Zhou Wuxiang can get the help of the Holy Son, it means that they also have a chance. Tisk. In the Nangong ancient clan and Qiyang, after the immortal sect arrived one after another, the void was torn apart by a divine light. After that, an ancient divine court as vast as a mountain came across the void. The boundless and vast divine power seemed to have the arrival of a supreme god. Misty divine court. Countless Taoisms in the Eastern Territory were shocked. Now, the three top Taoisms that have blood feud with Taisha demon sect have all gathered together. Needless to say, the rumored son of God in Misty divine court will naturally come. This time Taiku, the fight for the inheritance of the gods, is a good show. A few months ago, the demon lord Taisha used his invincible combat power to overwhelm the masters of the three great sects, and his demonic power ruled the world. Now, I wonder how the holy son of the demon sect will face these three sects. What will happen to the heirs of Taoism? Boom! As expected, with the sound of ancient war drums, an extraordinary figure wearing a golden divine robe and surrounded by divine light appeared from the divine court. This person is none other than the Piao Miao divine court. Son of God, Zhao Wanqi. Zhao Wanqi, the outside world has very little information about him. The only thing outsiders know is that Zhao Wanqi is the most evil person in the Piao Miao divine court for thousands of years. But how amazing is Zhao Wanqi's talent? But almost no one knows about it. Of course, just because he is the most evil genius in the Misty divine court in 10,000 years, this is enough. In the past 10,000 years, the Misty divine court has been born, and has suppressed the top giants of a generation. When that comes, needless to say, Zhao Wanqi's attention was also on Jiang Chen. In the battle between Taisha demon sect, the three sects of Misty divine court were trampled on the ground and rubbed against each other. Naturally, Zhao Wanqi, Qi Wushuan, and Nangong Aishi were all the same. Wanting to get back the lost place from Jiang Chen. That's why the three of them came to King Yundezu at the same time. As time goes by, more and more top Taoists come. Even those ancient forces that have been hidden in the world for countless years have powerful people appearing. Such as the Nine Dragons Immortal Palace, Taiyuan Immortal Clan, Changsheng Taoism, and other Taoist traditions, which were extremely rare in the past. Suddenly, Jiang Chen, who was using his eyes to see through the restriction of the divine light, moved slightly. He raised his head slightly and looked at that special aura. In the distance in the void, there was a man wearing ancient armor and exuding immortal fighting spirit. The creature, with his hands folded across his chest, was looking at him with interest. Heavenly demon body. Jiang Chen's eyes flashed slightly, and he saw the divine aura contained in that creature. The descendant of the immortal mountain. Immediately, a rumor that he had heard before appeared in Jiang Chen's mind. The immortal mountain is located at the junction of the eastern region and the western region. Unlike other traditions, the people gathered in the immortal mountain are all descendants of the ancient races. In other words, the immortal mountain, none of the creatures in the sacred mountain are human. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon section author, 10 miles. Chapter 14. Although the ancient tribes are named after the ancient times, they do not refer to the creatures of the ancient times. In fact, the existence of all ancient races can be traced back to before the immortal era. Before the rise of the human race, the heavenly domain was controlled by thousands of ancient races. In the early days, the human race was enslaved by all races and became the blood food of all races. Until the great changes in the world, the human race gave birth to sages one after another, and they rose up rapidly to fight against all the ancient races. In the end, after several times of destruction and turmoil, especially the ancient turmoil of the immortals, the human race completely dominated the heavenly realm and ruled over the 3,000 states. But in the 5 major realms of heaven and earth, there are still many orthodox traditions of thousands of tribes like the immortal mountain. Of course, in today's orthodoxy of all races, pure-blooded creatures of all races have almost disappeared and are extremely rare. Creatures from the Taoist tradition such as the immortal mountain can only be regarded as descendants of all races, and their bloodline has long been impure. Although the descendants of the immortal mountain are rarely born, they have attracted the attention of all major orthodoxy early on. Because the contemporary descendants of the immortal mountain are from the immortal ancient period and have a prestigious divine body. Heavenly demon body. In the past, the unparalleled evildoer who possessed the body of a heavenly demon unified all races after his divine body was completed. Naturally, the birth of a celestial demon body from the immortal mountain in this life is extremely eye-catching. If this heavenly demon divine body is fully developed, I am afraid it may lead to the revival of the entire race. Divine body induction. It's interesting. Yao Biatian looked at Zhang Chen with a strange twinkle in his eyes, and his interest seemed to be getting stronger and stronger. The rumors should not be believed at all. After all, in the previous rumors, Zhang Chen did not have the blood or physique. But judging from the current induction of the heavenly demon divine body, Zhang Chen definitely has some kind of divine body. It is even very likely that it is not weaker than his heavenly demon divine body. If he can obtain the origin of that divine body, then his heavenly demon the divine body will definitely become more powerful. Click. When Yao Bassian's thoughts were surging, a crisp cracking sound suddenly sounded. The billions of living beings who were originally discussing incessantly fell silent and looked at the soaring sky. Divine light. The divine light restriction is dissipating. You can go in. Soon, all the Taoisms felt that the restriction of divine light was dissipated, and countless monks became excited. Wrong. That ancient restriction is still there. This sense of coercion, can't the older monks go down to the lower world? But after careful perception, Qi Qingshan and other top Taoist elders' expressions changed slightly. The restriction of the divine light has not been completely dissipated. The younger generation can pass through, but the older generation will be restricted. If you force your way through, you will at least be obliterated by the restriction, or at worst, the passage will collapse. This kind of ancient restriction is extremely common in various secret realm ruins. Many strong men who have left behind inheritance hope that someone can inherit it. The mantle will naturally leave restrictions, and only the younger generation can break in. Therefore, the older giants are not very surprised by this. Isn't it just right that the younger generation can only go down to the next world? A sneer appeared. The person who spoke was none other than Qi Wushuan of the Xiang Immortal Sect. He glanced at Zhang Chen with a provocative look, and then led the Immortal Sect's genius into the divine light. After Qi Wushuan, Nangong Aishi, Zhao Wanqi also set out with the geniuses of all races. Let's go. Zhang Chen chuckled. It was in line with his wishes that the older generation could not go down to the lower realm. Because in this way, the young geniuses who entered the lower realm would become fish in his net. As Zhang Chen set off, Yan'er disciples of the same order as Zhou Wuqian immediately chased after him. When the other young geniuses saw this, they started to move without any hesitation. Phew! The demon tyrant who was hiding in the void flashed his divine light and disappeared in the divine light. The descendant of the immortal mountain. Qi Qingshan and other senior giants naturally noticed it instantly, but did not stop it. The consensus reached by the 3,000 Days Who states naturally also includes the Taoism of 10,000 races such as the immortal mountain. If they block it, it will be equivalent to destroying the Tianyu. Consensus. Ancient God Realm. Over a vast and boundless sea area, Zhang Chen and Yan'er came through the sky. As for Zhou Wuxiang and others, they were separated by the turbulence in the divine light. Young master, over there. Yan'er looked towards the end of the sea with a pair of big black eyes. There, a bright divine light that penetrated the sky and the earth went straight into the 9 heavens, shaking the entire ancient world. Walk. Taking out the divine ancient jade, after a moment's awareness, Zhang Chen and the two of them fled into the air. Not long after, they arrived at the end of the sea. In the sea, a bottomless whirlpool appeared. That the divine light that soared into the sky appeared from this whirlpool on the seabed. It was vaguely visible that there was an ancient divine curse surging in the whirlpool on the seafloor, exuding terrifying pressure. On the sea surface, there were countless creatures gathered, including humans and monsters. Spiritual race, etc. There are old and young among these creatures, but the ones with the highest cultivation level are only in the Dharma realm. This is not worth mentioning in the upper world. Any young prodigy can be beaten directly. It can be seen from this that, in this dust-covered ancient world, the strongest person may not be in the realm of Shinto. What a terrifying aura! Which Taoist tradition are they descendants of? Why do I feel that their cultivation has reached the level of the ancestors of life and death? The arrival of Zhang Chen and Yan'er naturally attracted the attention of countless creatures in the ancient world, and they screamed in surprise. Whoa! Zhang Chen and the two people naturally ignored it, and the void swayed slightly, and they escaped into the whirlpool on the bottom of the sea. Passing through the whirlpool on the bottom of the sea after the barrier, they came to a vast world, full of vast aura. In a trance, people had the illusion of returning to the ancient times. Following the induction of the divine ancient jade in their hands, Zhang Chen and the two crossed the void all the way. They bumped into each other along the way. Visiting many ancient palaces, broken ancient countries, and mysterious altars. You can see that there are many creatures from the ancient world, exploring and even fighting for them. Zhang Chen didn't even look at this. For Zhang Chen, except for the ancient in addition to the origin of the gods, he also looked down upon the inheritance of the gods. This is it. With Zhang Chen's cultivation, he quickly crossed the endless realm and arrived in front of a canyon. Both sides of the canyon were tens of millions of feet high, and there were forbidden air barriers around it. The canyon was filled with thick fog, making it difficult for him to people cannot explore the situation in the canyon. The closer they get to the entrance of the barrier, the piercing killing intent becomes stronger. The ancient killing array. After Zhang Chen sensed it for a moment, he stepped directly in, and Yan'er naturally followed immediately. Boom! The intrusion of Zhang Chen and the two men immediately triggered the ancient killing array, and there was overwhelming killing intent, roaring across the sky. Such killing intent, it was so powerful that it was like tens of thousands of ancient gods and demons coming out, enough to shatter the world. Break. In Zhang Chen's eyes, the double pupils flashed with divine light, and he could see the mystery of this killing array at a glance. After that, without any mysterious movements, Zhang Chen just punched out with his fist. Along with the vast ancient aura, hundreds of an ancient divine elephant rushed out with a bang. At this moment, the void directly collapsed, and the entire killing array trembled violently. The overwhelming killing intent that swept over was shattered into pieces in an instant. even, along with the hundreds of a giant elephant rushed through, and a void passage appeared in the killing formation. The terrifying killing power of the divine elephant's prison-suppressing power was fully revealed at this moment. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section Author, 10 miles. Chapter 15. Yan'er, who was following Zhang Chen, had a pair of big black eyes and was completely unresponsive. Although she knew that Zhang Chen had completely changed since he came out of his ancestral land. But he still didn't expect that Zhang Chen's strength would reach such a terrifying level. I'm afraid, even the true God, or even the ancient God, can't do anything to Zhang Chen, right? Gone. Zhang Chen said, stepped out, followed the vacuum passage, and broke into the canyon. Yan'er suddenly came back to his senses and immediately chased after him. Who are they? Long after Zhang Chen and Yan'er disappeared, a figure slowly approached. Could it be that it came from the rumored upper realm? Yuan Tian, who had ancient demonic patterns vaguely appearing on his face, couldn't hide his shock. In the ancient god world, even those traditions with gods sitting under their control could not have such evil descendants. After all, from what Zhang Chen had done before, judging from the power of a punch, I am afraid that those ancient gods who have lived for countless years are far behind. Except for the rumored genius of the upper world, Yuan Tian cannot think off second one is possible. Thinking of this, Yuan Tian immediately followed the vacuum passage that had not yet been restored and entered the killing array canyon. Not long after, another figure with astonishing momentum appeared, running towards them quickly and taking advantage of the situation to enter the killing formation. At this time, Zhang Chen and the two people, who had passed through the ancient killing array, came to a simple temple. Compared to the splendid temples and towers seen along the way, this temple in front of us is inconspicuous. But the location that the ancient divine jade sensed was exactly this ancient temple. Walk. Zhang Chen walked over and pushed open the door of the temple. A secret realm filled with hazy divine light came into view. This secret realm was like a field of stars refined, with countless stars shining brightly and dazzlingly. Oh! In Zhang Chen's eyes, after the two people stepped in, a beam of divine light fell from the sky and appeared in front of them. Immediately afterwards, the divine light turned into an ethereal and mysterious ancient divine shadow. Although the appearance could not be seen clearly, the vast divine power was obviously remained by an ancient god. Why are you here, little friend? The ancient divine figure glanced at Zhang Chen and Yan'er, and then his unfathomable eyes fell on Zhang Chen. The predecessors left a legacy here, and I guess they are waiting for the destined person. The juniors came here just to seek the truth, and I hope the seniors will fulfill it. Seeing that the ancient divine figure seemed to have intelligence, Yan'er immediately became vigilant. But Zhang Chen, with his usual expression, replied. Even if we are seeking the Tao, what do you think the Tao is? The ancient divine figure asked again. What is Tao? When Zhang Chen heard this, he smiled and punched out without saying a word. Billions of chaotic divine lights filled the air, and an ancient seal of chaos evolved, blasting out with world-destroying killing power. The ancient divine shadow shattered in response to the sound, turning into billions of spots and exploding. This is my way. Zhang Chen's plain voice was like the sound of thunder, echoing in the secret realm of the star territory. Rumble. Immediately, the secret realm of the star territory shook, and an altar that seemed to be made of a divine stone appeared from the void. On top of the altar, sealed by thousands of ancient divine patterns, a ball of pure divine light. If you sense the origin of the gods, will you absorb them? At this moment, the system's long-lost voice sounded in Zhang Chen's mind. Absorb. Immediately, traces of invisible divine origin were plundered from the divine light. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the ancient method of ancient times and transformed the three realms into one thing. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the ancient heaven skill and the 8-9 heaven skills. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained one of the 9 secrets, all of which are secrets. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the Dao of Gods, and the Taoism and Dharma are being integrated. The next moment, the crisp sounds of the system appeared one after another. It can be clearly felt that with the fusion of gods, Taoism, and magic, Zhang Chen's cultivation has made a huge leap like a volcanic eruption. 3rd level of Virtual God Realm. 5th level of Virtual God Realm. The 7th level of Virtual God Realm. 9th level of Virtual God Realm. Real God Realm. True God Realm 2nd level. 4th level of True God Realm. The 6th level of True God Realm. The 7th level of the True God Realm. With the integration of the Divine Avenue, Zhang Chen's cultivation reached the 7th level of the True God Realm in a few breaths. The terrifying divine power that shook the world caused violent shaking in this secret realm. And such an incredible speed of improvement also made Yanner beside him fall into sluggishness again. In a few breaths, from entering the Virtual God Realm to reaching the 7th level of the True God Realm. Could it be that he has fallen into an illusion? Thinking of this, Yanner silently cast the heart-cleaning curse. What are you thinking about? Hurry up and refine this divine spirit fruit. After Zhang Chen calmed down his breath, he patted Yanner's little head. What the system absorbed was the origin of the ancient god. The divine light in front of him was transformed from the Tao fruit of the ancient god. Those differences, just like a person's qualifications and cultivation. The system only absorbs the source of qualifications, not the spiritual cultivation. Don't be greedy, you can refine as much as you can. Although Yanner has transformed into the Taiyan spirit body, if he forcibly refines the origin of this spirit, the end result will be a snake swallowing an elephant, and he may explode and die. Yes. After Yanner came back to her senses, her little face was solemn, and she stepped forward to refine the source of the spirit. After seeing Zhang Chen's cultivation and such a terrifying transformation, Yanner's improvement in cultivation also became more and more intense. After Zhang Chen had already stepped into the True God realm, she was still in the life and death realm. The gap was too big. At this time, Zhang Chen was concentrating on comprehending the ancient skills and secrets in the Soul Sea. One Qi transforming the 3 pure beings is the legendary ancient method of taking Daodi Tianzun. After practicing this technique, 3 incarnations can be derived, and the combat power of each incarnation can be comparable to the original one. In addition, one energy can transform the 3 pure states. Among them, the extremely mysterious law of the Great Road is also involved. The 8-9 heavenly technique is an ancient technique of the lineage of the demonic ape. It contains shocking magical powers and secret techniques such as 3 heads, 6 arms and 72 transformations. All humanoid creatures can practice this technique. If you have the blood of the demonic ape, you can travel even faster. It is one of the 9 secrets of the Supreme, which can instantly increase your combat power by 10 times. This is a forbidden taboo magic. It is said that once triggered, you can set foot in the forbidden realm of the gods. The only drawback is that the probability of triggering is not very high. Of course, with Zhang Chen's talent, as long as he has a thorough understanding, it will not be difficult to complete this point. After thinking for a moment, Zhang Chen carefully realized that one Qi can transform into 3 Qing he is Zi-I-Me. As for the 8-9 heaven technique, to be honest, it is already dispensable to Zhang Chen. He has already practiced the divine elephant prison suppressing strength for similar techniques, and there is no need to practice this now. Just leave the ancient skills to future followers. Boom. When Zhang Chen merged and mastered the secrets of one Qi transformation, 3 purities, and all words, a violent sound of fighting came from outside the temple. Now. After sensing it for a moment, Zhang Chen thought, and a line of pure energy appeared and turned into a human figure. It was the one energy that he had just mastered to transform the 3 pure beings. After that, Zhang Chen, transformed by the pure energy, walked out of the secret realm of the temple and looked towards the void in the distance. A great chase is taking place between heaven and earth. More than a dozen cultivators in the heavenly realm are chasing down a demon cultivator in the soul palace realm. Obviously, this is a creature from the ancient god realm. There is no talented person from this region who is so weak. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 16. This breath. When Zhang Chen, who originally had a dull expression, saw the demon cultivator, a strange color flashed in his eyes. The demonic aura exuded by that demon cultivator is actually vaguely similar to that of the demon ape. However, the aura is quite mixed, and it should be that there is only a little blood of the demonic ape. This discovery made Zhang Chen interested. The bloodline of the demonic ape is known for its tyranny and bellicosity, and can refine and annex all bloodlines. Therefore, as long as one has the blood of the demonic ape, no matter how thin the blood is, the blood will continue to transform as the cultivation level increases. This is just like many creatures with dragon bloodline, which may evolve into true dragons. Although the path of bloodline evolution is extremely dangerous and one may die at every turn, the success rate is not small. Call out. At this time, the demon cultivator who was being chased seemed to see Zhang Chen and immediately rushed towards the temple with all his strength. The chasing monks were naturally in hot pursuit, and in an instant they arrived in front of the temple one after another. Please save me, sir. The demon cultivator who was being chased was none other than Yuan Tian, who had followed Zhang Chen and the two into the canyon. Zhang Chen's earth-shattering combat prowess was still fresh in Yuan Tian's memory. Therefore, with a glimmer of hope, he came to ask for Zhang Chen's protection. If Zhang Chen was willing to help, he would have nothing to fear, not to mention the pursuers in front of him, but also the entire ancient god realm. Young master. The monks who were chasing him stopped in unison and looked at Zhang Chen cautiously. Because Zhang Chen, who was standing in front of the temple, gave them an ethereal and mysterious feeling, like seeing a god. Even if they sensed it with secret methods, they could not see it. There was no way to detect the depth of Zhang Chen's cultivation level. This naturally made those monks fearful. What benefits can I get from saving you? Zhang Chen stood with his hands behind his hands and looked calmly at Yuan Tian, who was kneeling on the ground. If the young master is willing to help, Yuan Tian is willing to be branded as a slave and follow the young master forever. Ape Tian kowtowed heavily, and blood exploded on his forehead. Boom! Immediately, ripples spread out in the chaotic light mirror of Zhang Chen's soul sea. In the column of followers, Yuan Tian's name appeared. Obviously, Yuan Tian has already recognized by the system. If you want to follow me as a slave, you must first prove your ability. After Zhang Chen sensed it, he pointed a finger, and a bright divine light penetrated into Yuan Tian's body. It was the 8-9 heavenly skills. Boom! Immediately, Yuan Tian's body trembled, and his whole body was filled with bloody divine light, exuding a violent and terrifying aura. Even vaguely, in the bloody divine light around Yuan Tian, a peerless demon ape with 3 heads and 6 arms appeared. That demon ape, carrying the sun and moon on its shoulders, picking up stars in its hands, could kill the 9 gods and demons at every turn, and its battle power was boundless. In the blink of an eye, with Kung Fu, Yuan Tian's already strong body grew several times, reaching over 3 feet tall. Standing there, he looked like an ancient giant, giving people a powerful sense of pressure. Thank you very much, sir. The aura of Yuan Tian, who has integrated the 8-9 heavenly skills, is completely different from before, and his aura is astonishing. Although there is no breakthrough in cultivation, Yuan Tian's demon ape bloodline has already undergone transformation. And those with the blood of the hybrid demon ape have strong, even if there is only a slight transformation, there will be a huge leap in combat power. At the very least, the gap between the Soul Palace realm and the heavenly human realm is no longer a problem for Yuan Tian now. If you can't suppress them even if I give you half an hour, then commit suicide. Zhang Chen looked calm. The bloodline of the demonic ape is indeed extremely rare. But if you can't cross the border to kill the enemy after obtaining the ancient heaven skill and the transformation of the bloodline, then the ape heaven will be of little use to Zhang Chen. Naturally, the astonishing ancient skills such as the 8-9 heaven technique cannot be wasted on Yuan Tian. Don't worry, sir. Yuan Tian stood up and looked at the more than 10 monks in the heavenly and human realms. His eyes were as sharp as swords, which made people's hearts palpitate. Senior Brother Qi, the aura of this monster is too weird. Let's retreat for now. The terrifying and ferocious aura emanating from Yuan Tian's body also chilled the hearts of the more than 10 monks. Although their cultivation was far stronger than Yuan Tian's, they still couldn't hide the panic in their hearts. Walk. The young man at the head glanced at the mysterious Zhang Xinhuai and decisively ordered to evacuate. Although Yuan Tian's change of momentum made him a little frightened, he was only a little afraid. What really made him feel fear was Zhang Chen who easily transformed Yuan Tian. That mysterious immortal aura was simply more terrifying than those ancient ancestors of gods. Buzzing. But as soon as the young man and others wanted to leave, it was discovered that the void was rippled like water. After that, the void with a radius of tens of millions of miles was blocked. This made the young man and others' expressions change drastically, and their hearts sank. They could block a whole world at will. Such methods are simply like ghosts and gods coming to the world. If you can hold on for half a quarter of an hour, I will let you go. At this time, Zhang Chen's plain voice reminded him of the timely thought. Senior, we are members of the Lei family in the western regions, please do this for the sake of my ancient ancestor of the Lei family. The young man at the head became more and more convinced that Zhang Chen was definitely a moody old monster who had lived for countless years. As a last resort, he moved out of the Lei family behind him, hoping to make Zhang Chen afraid. Boom! But before the young man finished speaking, an extremely fierce aura rushed out. It was Ape Tian who came out. Yuan Tian could tell that Zhang Chen's words were not meant to scare him. If he cannot kill the Lei family within half a quarter of an hour, he will inevitably die. Naturally, Yuan Tian would not waste time and immediately charged out. Form a formation. The young man at the head had a slightly condensed expression, and immediately shouted, joining forces to attack and defend. Click. But at this moment, the fierce aura of Yuan Tian suddenly transformed into thunder and broke through the air. In a flash, Yuan Tian directly penetrated the battle formation of the Lei family and broke into the battle formation. Such sudden changes made the eyes of the Lei family and others shrink sharply, and they were horrified. Poof! Before the people of the Lei family could react, a monstrous killing power erupted. The sounds of flesh and blood exploding were heard one after another, and the rich smell of blood hit the nostrils. It was Yuan Tian who broke into the battle formation. Transformed into an unparalleled demon ape with 3 heads and 6 arms, whose battle power shook the heavens. 72 transformations, and the magic ape's appearance. Not bad. Zhang Chen nodded slightly. Although Yuan Tian's cultivation level is low, his combat experience is obviously very rich. He has just integrated the 8-9 heaven skills, and he can use them so skillfully in the fight. He is excellent in fighting, which is also a part of his talent. No wonder the lineage of the Hunchi demon ape has few members, but its vicious reputation is famous throughout the ages. If Yuan Tian is well cultivated, its potential will be immeasurable. Boom! With the power of Yuan Tian, the Lei family and others, even if they have all the means, they also lost their lives one after another. Compared with the half-quarter of an hour prescribed by Zhang Chen, the time was shortened by nearly half. This also made Yuan Tian couldn't help but look up to the sky and roar. His mind was clear and he was extremely happy. Since the clan was wiped out, this was the first time he felt so excited and transparent. That powerful sense of power gave him endless confidence. Hey, he actually has the blood of the demonic ape. At this moment, a somewhat surprised voice appeared. I saw in the mid-air, several young figures with astonishing momentum appeared. Each of them was majestic, and the weakest cultivation level was the Wanchao realm, and some even reached the life and death realm. Obviously, they are all young geniuses from heaven. This is a completely dimensionally reducing blow to the younger generation of the ancient god world. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 17. Just in time, you can catch it back and train it into a war beast. As soon as the voice fell, a giant hand of law descended from the sky and grabbed Yuan Tian. Yuan Tian, who originally killed the people of the Lei family with force, was unable to resist under the giant hand of law. No matter how he roared and struggled, still, he was about to fall into the giant hands of the law. This was a gap brought about by completely different realms, and it could not be bridged by a little blood transformation. However, when Yuan Tian was about to be captured, a golden streak, the divine feather, burst out of the air. Blood splashed out in all directions. In mid-air, the genius of the life and death realm who wanted to capture Yuan Tian was immediately disintegrated. If you arrest my followers in front of me, your life will be too long, right? Zhang Chen's plain voice appeared. It was him who took action. The descendant of the demon sect. Those young prodigies who had already changed their colors were even more chilled after seeing Zhang Chen. In front of the prodigies of the ancient god world, they could trample on them at will and with no scruples. But Zhang Chen was also in front of them, being able to easily determine their life or death. Just like the young prodigy who was in the life and death realm just now, he is not considered weak among the younger generation of Tianyu. But in Zhang Chen's hands, he was wiped out with one finger. This difference is it's obvious how big it is. No wonder Taisha demon sect dared to release you. It turns out that you have already broken through the realm of Shinto. When those young geniuses changed their colors, a bone-cold voice appeared immediately. Nangong Shenzi. The person who spoke was none other than Nangong Aishi, who was wearing an ancient robe and had bright thunder in his eyes. The appearance of Nangong Aishi naturally made the few young geniuses who dared not move ecstatic. Nangong Ancient Clan and Taisha Demon Zone now has reached the point where water and fire are incompatible. This time Nangong Aishi came out of the clan. He came for Zhang Chen. Under this situation, Zhang Chen naturally had no time to take care of them. Why, are you the only one looking for death? Zhang Chen's eyes were indeed looking at Nangong Aishi who appeared. It was not because Nangong Aishi's appearance made him unable to be distracted. It was because those young talents were too weak and had neither luck nor physique. The source can be swallowed. In Zhang Chen's eyes, this has no value at all. Sometimes, mediocre qualifications are also a blessing. I alone will be enough to kill you. Hearing Zhang Chen's arrogant words, Nangong Aishi's face turned cold, and he exploded with piercing murderous intent. As soon as he finished speaking, a bronze halberd appeared in Nangong Aishi's hand, surrounded by rolling thunder. A terrifying killing power that made people's hearts beat. Swept away unscrupulously. The 8th level of Virtual God Realm. Nangong Aishi's cultivation was also perceived by the young geniuses at this moment. This made the faces of those young geniuses unable to conceal their shock. Although there have been rumors that the top disciples of the 3,000 days who have already set foot on the Shinto field. There are even people who have achieved extremely high attainments in the Shinto field. But in today's eastern region, the only one who truly shows his cultivation in the Shinto field is Nangong Aishi. And Nangong Aishi is not in the ordinary false god realm. Has reached the 8th level of the virtual god realm. With Nangong Aishi's amazing qualifications, it won't take long to break through to the true god realm. With such a terrifying cultivation level, Nangong Shenzi is probably the number one among the younger generation in the eastern region. Those young geniuses in the realm of life and death couldn't help but have such thoughts. Is this, the proud son of the upper world? Yuan Tian, who flew down next to Zhang Chen, couldn't help but change his expression. In the ancient god world, if you set foot in the realm of Shinto, you can be called the ancient ancestor god, enough to dominate the ancient world. But looking at Nangong Aishi's appearance, the top genius in the world started in the Shinto field. Such a huge gap gave Yuan Tian a great shock. Therefore, when his color changed, Yuan Tian couldn't help but look at Zhang Chen. After all, no matter how he looked at it, Zhang Chen is still a young man, probably far from his prime years. The age naturally means the difference in years of cultivation. It seems that in the past few months, he has been working hard to improve himself. For Nangong Aishi, who was so murderous, Zhang Chen couldn't see the slightest fear in his expression and chuckled softly. "Kill you." These words angered Nangong Aishi even more. He waved his halberd, and with the killing intent like a mountain torrent and tsunami, he rushed towards Zhang Chen. As Nangong Aishi passed by, spots of thunder were left in the sky, like thunder. Fall. This is the thunder escape method of the ancient Nangong clan. It contains the true meaning of thunder. If you practice it to the extreme, you can catch up with the thunder. Nangong Aishi has obviously understood it thoroughly. He is as fast as thunder and has no trace to be found. Bang! But the next moment, the deafening sound of bombing resounded. It was accompanied by a violent and destructive shock wave. Poof! Almost at the same time, Nangong Aishi, who rushed out with endless killing power, flew out in a panic, vomiting blood from his mouth. Nangong Shenzi was injured. What's going on? Those young prodigies who were horrified by Nangong Aishi's cultivation all shrank their pupils and froze. Just now, Nangong Aishi, who seemed to be capable of shattering the world, suddenly vomited blood and was injured. Could it be that the ancient gods were triggered? Are there any restrictions left? That's all. When those young geniuses were shocked and pale, a plain voice appeared in the void. After hearing the sound and looking around, those young geniuses felt as if they were seeing ghosts. The person who spoke was none other than Zhang Chen. But the problem is, Zhang Chen, when did he appear in mid-air? Wasn't he still at the entrance of the temple just now? Even Yuan Tian, who was closest to Zhang Chen, was stunned. Because he had no idea when Zhang Chen, appearing in mid-air. Teleport. Secret method of void. Nangong Aishi, who originally had piercing murderous intent, looked extremely solemn and did not dare to act rashly. At that moment, he didn't react until Zhang Chen attacked him. It was faster than thunder, and could be called the speed of traveling through the void. Nangong Aishi stood on his head with chills all over his body. Zhang Chen, who looked lazy and seemed to have flaws all over his body, gave him a sense of danger like death. The dangerous aura was so strong that he seemed to be killed at any time. Nangong, this is the first time Aoshi has been practicing so far that he feels like this. How terrifying a level has Zhang Chen's cultivation reached? Could it be that he has already stepped into the true God realm? But is this possible? Zhang Chen is only 13 this years old. Where to look? At this moment, a dull voice suddenly sounded in shock from behind Nangong Aishi. Nangong Aishi's pupils shrank as sharply as needles. Zhang Chen, who had been tightly locked by him just now, actually disappeared out of thin air like a ghost. Almost subconsciously, Nangong Aishi immediately activated the life-saving divine armor on his body. Click. A crisp and audible shattering sound came from Nangong Aishi, who was blown away again. Nangong Aishi's body was filled with countless patterns. The ancient divine armor was directly transformed into countless fragments. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 18. Thunder Seal. Nangong Aoshi, who was blown away by vomiting blood, had no intention of stabilizing his body. The moment the divine armor shattered, he immediately used his strongest trump card. Because he knew that with Zhang Chen's terrifying speed, waiting for him if he stabilizes his body, he will withstand another devastating attack. Without the protection of the divine armor, he can no longer block Zhang Chen's murderous power. Only by using the Thunder Seal now can he have a chance to fight Zhang Chen. The confidence. Boom. Immediately, there was a deafening thunder. In the eyes of Yuan Tian and others, Nangong Aoshi, who flew far away uncontrollably, seemed to have turned into a lightning bolt. It can be seen that between Nangong Aoshi's eyebrows, there was an ancient and mysterious fairy-light thunder seal condensed. After that, a thunder fairy shadow tens of thousands of meters tall appeared from the mysterious thunder seal. A vast and unparalleled shocking thunder power roared across the world, shaking the world. It felt like the ancient Thunder Emperor came to this world and was able to dominate the world. Nangong Aoshi, who was originally uncontrollable and flew out at extremely high speed, was protected by layers of thunder and stopped in mid-air. Even, within Nangong Aoshi's body, bright thunder flashes, healing his injuries quickly. Is that the heavenly thunder inheritance Nangong Shenzhou received? What a terrifying pressure, I'm afraid it's far inferior to even the average true god realm. Those young geniuses from the heavenly territory couldn't help but exclaimed in surprise. Although there have been rumors that when Nangong Aoshi was born, thunder from the sky came and gave him the supreme thunder path. But the Eastern Territory Taoism has never, no one has ever seen it, so many forces have always been suspicious. However, judging from Nangong Aoshi's current appearance, the rumors about him are not false. He can make such a huge transformation in his cultivation in an instant, this is definitely triggering the heavenly thunder inheritance. Fluctuations in luck. Regarding the Nangong Aoshi whose momentum had changed, Zhang Chen did not take advantage of the victory to pursue him. Because he sensed the elusive fluctuations in luck from Nangong Aoshi. This was the first time Zhang Chen felt the fluctuation of luck from the younger generation. That mysterious and unpredictable feeling made Zhang Chen quite excited. The luck of the creatures plundered by the Tianyuan system can be directly blessed on him. This also means that as long as Zhang Chen continues to plunder his luck, his own luck will continue to stack up. Brother Wushuan, since you are here, why don't you show up? Nangong Aoshi, who had used the Thunder Seal, had a terrifying and frightening aura, but he did not attack immediately. Even though he had used the Thunder Seal and his combat power had changed, Nangong Aoshi was still extremely afraid of Zhang Chen. The reason is simple, Zhang Chen from beginning to end, even now, he looks relaxed and lazy. Unparalleled. The descendant of Xiang immortal sect, Qi Wushuan. When the young monks in the heavenly territory heard this, they all looked moved and felt it. Qi Wushuan, placed in the Eastern Territory, is an evil spirit who can rival Zhao Wanqi and Nangong Aoshi. Regardless of qualifications or reputation, Qi Wushuan is not weak. Nangong Aoshi. More importantly, the two of them have a common opponent. That is the holy son of the demon sect, Zhang Chen. Under the current situation, the two of them will definitely join forces. And in the past, with World War II first, those young geniuses will definitely think that Zhang Chen will not escape disaster. But after seeing Zhang Chen's ghostly methods, no one has such an idea. Even if Nangong Aoshi and Qi Wushuan join forces, they will probably take Zhang Chen. Whoops! After Nangong Aoshi's words fell, the sky swayed slightly. A young man with an eyebrow and sword eyes appeared. This person was following the sounds of the battle and escaping. Qi Wushuan came. He glanced at Nangong Aoshi, who was surrounded by thunder and was overwhelming, and then looked at Zhang Chen, who looked relaxed and unconcerned. Qi Wushuan's eyes narrowed slightly. Although he had not seen the previous battle, He also that in the current situation, Nangong Aoshi has been suppressed. And now, Nangong Aoshi's terrifying combat power is comparable to that of the true God realm, but he is not Zhang Chen's opponent? Then how high should Zhang Chen's combat power be? To be honest, if Nangong Aoshi hadn't noticed his whereabouts, Qi Wushuan really had no intention of showing up. I originally wanted to leave you to Zhou Wuxiang to deal with, but since you jumped out, let's just deal with it. Zhang Chen was not surprised at all by Qi Wushuan's appearance. He had obviously sensed it for a long time. Whoa! The next moment, Zhang Chen stepped out and disappeared. Be careful, he has the secret method of teleporting into the void. Nangong Aoshi immediately shouted a reminder, and vast and majestic thunder exploded around him. The thunderous immortal shadow that measured tens of thousands of feet was blooming with dazzling immortal light at this moment, and he was fully alert. After the previous two experiences of almost dying, Nangong Aoshi naturally had defensive measures. Click. But as soon as he finished speaking, the sound of broken bones sounded without warning. I saw that Qi Wushuan, who had just sacrificed the ancient treasure and evolved the barrier, was directly blown up. From the continuous sound of bones breaking, it can be seen how serious his injuries are. So fast. Qi Wushuan was horrified and changed color, and immediately formed seals. Mysterious glow emerged from the pores of his body, and his originally chaotic and weak aura recovered instantly. In those mysterious glow, there were bursts of Taoist sounds, like ancient gods. He was only preaching. This caused a huge change in Qi Wushuan's whole aura. Obviously, this was the crane inheritance that Qi Wushuan received in the rumors, which was extremely amazing. Boom! At this moment, a deafening sound, the sound of bombing, came from the temple. Along with the layers of air waves, an extremely embarrassed figure was blasted out of the temple. Qi Wushuan and Nangong Aoshi, who were waiting seriously, looked at Chen Yin. The look on his face changed. The man who was thrown out in embarrassment was wearing a golden divine robe, surrounded by divine light. He was none other than the contemporary successor of the Piao Miao divine court, Zhao Wanqi. The dignified son of the misty divine court is actually engaged in a sneaky business. It's really a shame for his identity. Immediately afterwards, a plain voice that made Qi Wushuan and Nangong Aoshi feel horrified came from the ancient temple. How come? This shocked Qi Wushuan and the two of them, and they immediately turned around as if they had seen a ghost. That plain voice was naturally familiar to them, it was Zhang Chen's voice. But isn't Zhang Chen still in front of them? With the sound of footsteps, a tall figure stepped out of the ancient temple. That person, if it wasn't Zhang Chen, who was it? There are two, descendants of the demon sect. A heavenly monk, with dull eyes, muttered to himself. You are stupid, this is obviously some kind of secret method of incarnation. The people around him have already reacted, but the shock in their eyes is even worse. A single incarnation can suppress Qi Wushuan and the Nangong ancient clan. How strong must Zhang Chen's true self be? Thinking about it, that Tian the domain monk just retreated calmly. This Zhang Chen was hidden too deeply. Zhao Wanqi, Qi Wushuan, and Nangong Aoshi might not be able to escape today. He didn't want to be casually taken care of by the holy son of the demon section. Kill it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon section. Author, 10 Miles. Chapter 19. Both of them are incarnations. What secret method is this? At this time, Qi Wushuan and Nangong Aoshi also saw that the Zhang Chen in front of them was not his real body. This made their hearts feel an unprecedented chill, and their limbs were covered with bones, and they were bone-chilling. They had never thought that Zhang Chen's the strength is actually so terrifying that it is so shocking. If they had known this earlier, they would not have dared to come and deal with Zhang Chen even if they were beaten to death. His cultivation level is at its weakest at the true God level, so we have to join forces. Zhao Wanqi, who had stabilized his body, looked extremely solemn and quickly flew towards Qi Wushuan and the two of them. Form a formation. Qi Wushuan and Nangang Aishi naturally knew that the matter was serious and immediately formed a three-talent battle formation. Poof! But the battle formation had just been formed. 3 golden divine feathers, like 3 fairy swords, appeared without warning and penetrated them. I saw that in the center of Zhao Wanqi and the others, there was another Zhang Chen, coming from the void. Appeared. On Zhang Chen's body, the phantom of Kunpeng flickered, condensing 3 golden divine feathers. 1 Qi transformed into 3 pure beings, Emperor Jiang's magical power, and Kunpeng's treasured technique. With only the cultivation level of virtual god realm, he could cast these 3 unparalleled treasured techniques. After that, the 3 Zhao Wanqi, whose combat power was comparable to that of a true god, were all killed in an instant. Even until they died, they didn't know where the golden divine feather came from. It can be seen that, in one breath, treasures such as the transformation of 3 purities have such terrifying and world-shaking killing power. Too strong. In front of the temple, Yuan Tian, who has been witnessing this battle, has strong admiration and yearning in his eyes. In his eyes, Zhao Wanqi and the other 3 are already absolutely unrivaled and unparalleled geniuses. But under Zhang Chen, it was so easy that they were directly obliterated. He could see that this was not because Zhao Wanqi and the others were weak, but because Zhang Chen was too unfaithful. In addition to admiration, this also made Yuan Tian feel a great feeling. Pressure. With his low level of cultivation, in Zhang Chen's eyes, he is probably no different from an ant. If he cannot become stronger as soon as possible, one day he will not be qualified to follow Zhang Chen. From now on, the geniuses of the Eastern region will respect the descendants of the demon section. The few Eastern Territory geniuses who were so shocked couldn't help but murmured in horror. The holy son of the Xiang immortal sect, the descendant of the Nangang ancient clan, and the divine son of the Piao Miao Shenting. This is an extraordinary genius with a great reputation in the Eastern region today. Regardless of his qualifications or combat prowess, he is enough to reach the top ranks of the Eastern region. But now, he was killed by Zhang Chen in an instant. Even if they saw this with their own eyes, it was extremely shocking, as if they were in a dream. With such unparalleled combat power, among the hundreds of states in the Eastern region, who else could be Zhang Chen's opponent? Eastern region. I'm afraid that all the geniuses in the entire heaven will surrender at the feet of the descendants of the demon section. When the young prodigy who retreated calmly heard this, he couldn't help but have such thoughts. Zhang Chen's combat prowess was terrifying, and he was definitely at the top of the younger generation. No wonder the Taisha demon sect valued Zhang Chen so much and regarded him as the descendant of the ancestral demon. If Zhang Chen grows up, it may really be possible to reach the level of the demon ancestor Taishu. If you sense the fate of living beings, will you absorb it? Absorb. Zhang Chen naturally didn't care about the thoughts of those people in the heaven realm. As the system absorbed the original destiny of Zhao Wanqi and the others, Zhang Chen clearly felt that there was an indescribable change in his body. It was an indescribable, it feels like there is some kind of heaven and earth path that falls on Zhang Chen and is protected by heaven. Obviously, this is the original luck absorbed by the system, blessing Zhang Chen. But let Zhang Chen, what surprised Chen was that he was no stranger to this wonderful feeling of luck. It seemed that he himself had extraordinary luck, but he had never awakened. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the body of a god and demon. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the long-live miracle medicine. Congratulations to the host for getting the world-breaking talisman. At the same time, 3 great divine lights appeared in the chaotic light mirror in the Soul Sea. The body of gods and demons is another extremely ancient physique. Rumor has it that it is condensed with the blood of ancient gods and demons, and it can be used in the future. Transform gods and demons. The long-lived magic medicine is one of the magic medicines of longevity. As the name suggests, you can get 10,000 years of life by refining it. Although there are many magic medicines in the world, there are very few magic medicines that can ignore the laws and extend life. If those old monsters who have reached the end of their lifespan know about this, they will definitely rush to grab it. As for the final boundary-breaking talisman, it is somewhat similar to the boundary-breaking talisman in that it can break through the barrier of heaven and earth. The difference is that, the power of this world-breaking immortal talisman is astonishing. Even the unshakable barriers between heaven and earth, between the heaven and the immortal realm, can be easily torn apart. Above the chaotic light mirror, the group is completely different from the one half a year ago. Information appears. Host, Zhang Chen. Age, 14. Cultivation, 7th level of True God Realm. Physique, innate chaos, divine body, ancient double eyes. Bloodline, nothingness. Skills, the 7th level of the Immortal Tamo Sutra *, divine elephant's prison suppressing power, 8th 9 heavens skill. Magical powers, 1 Qi transforms 3 pure things, Kunpeng Bao Shu, Gzime, Space Avenue. Followers, Yanur, Yuan Nation. Others, Emperor Zhang Dharma appearance, spiritual body, long live miraculous medicine, world-breaking immortal talisman. In less than a year, Zhang Chen's entire person completely transformed. If he continues to practice at this terrifying speed, Zhang Chen estimates that in another 10 or 8 years, he will be able to reach the level of his senior brother Wei Wuji and others. As for the realm of old monsters like his master, it would take more than a few years to reach it. Suddenly, Zhang Chen's expression moved slightly, and he turned his head to look at the sky in the distance. In the clouds and mist, a snow-white bird that blended into the clouds was looking at him quietly. Those eyes were no stranger to Zhang Chen. The descendant of the immortal mountain, the body of the heavenly demon, the demon tyrant. Wow! When Zhang Chen noticed, the bird's wings trembled and disappeared in an instant. Rather cautious, Zhang Chen withdrew his gaze and waved his hands to destroy the bodies of Qi Wushuan and the others. Although Yao Baxian left, Zhang Chen was a little surprised, but that was all. Yao Baxian's cultivation should be far stronger than Qi Wushuan. There were 3 people, but they were probably only at the level of true gods. Seeing the death of Qi Wushuan and the others, it was normal to feel fear. After that, Zhang Chen took Yuan Tian into the temple, and the 3 incarnations dispersed. Then the geniuses from the heaven realm were naturally relieved and immediately fled away without daring to stop at all. Soon, the news that Qi Wushuan and the other 3 were killed by Zhang Chen spread like a tornado. This allowed people to enter. The heirs of all Taoist traditions in the ruins of the heaven realm were all horrified and disbelieving. Especially when they learned that Zhang Chen could deal with Qi Wushuan and Nangang Aishi with just his incarnation, everyone in the Tian realm was even more shocked. After the news was confirmed, those heavenly geniuses immediately escaped from the ruins of the gods. 3 people as powerful as Qi Wushuan joined forces, and they all died tragically at the hands of Zhang Chen. If they continue to fight for the inheritance of the gods, aren't they asking for their own death? Fantasy, Invincible from the Holy Son of the Demon Section author, 10 miles. Chapter 20. At this time, outside the ruins, above the sea, countless black creatures are all restrained in mid-air. At a glance, there are tens of millions of them. Blood-colored ancient evil lines were like spider webs, intertwined and permeated, connecting those creatures. There was a strong and strange bloody aura that filled the void of heaven and earth, and most of the sea area turned faintly dark red. Aha! A young figure rushed out from the whirlpool in the sea. He was instantly aware of it and his expression was moved. This person looked to be only 17 or 18 years old, and there were already divine fluctuations emanating from his body. Obviously, he has condensed the divine fire and set foot in the realm of virtual gods. From the Taoist robe he wears, it can be seen that this person is a young genius of Changsheng Taoism. Blood refining evil array. After looking carefully, the Taoist genius understood the strange situation on the sea. The blood refining evil formation is an ancient evil cultivation formation. In this formation, the essence and blood of living beings are sacrificed to obtain powerful power. It has long been lost in the long river of history. I didn't expect that today, in this small world of dust, I would encounter such evil cultivators. The Taoist of immortality, the first in the sequence, the Tao is immeasurable. At this time, ripples appeared in the void. A figure appeared without warning. Immortal Mountain, Demon Overlord. Dao Wuliang narrowed his eyes slightly and recognized the person who appeared. Did you set up this evil formation? Dao Wuliang looked at Yao Basian. The blood-colored evil patterns that filled Yao Basian's body were indeed the rumored evil way of blood refining. But the Tao method in Yao Basian's body was not mixed with the way of blood refining. Obviously, Yao Batian arranged this blood refining evil array with the help of external forces. You must have heard the news about the descendants of the demon sect, right? Yao Batian asked back without answering. Of course, judging from the bloody evil patterns on his body, he has already answered this question. So, you plan to set up this evil formation to deal with the descendants of the demon sect. When Dao Wuliang heard this, he immediately understood Yao Batian's intention. As far as I know, the descendants of the demon sect not only received the inheritance from the ancient gods, but also mastered several shocking ancient methods. Haven't you always wanted to replace the Taoist successor? This is a great opportunity for you. Yao Basian chuckled, with strong temptation in his words. With your cultivation in the true God realm, after setting up such an evil array, you actually want to win over me. It seems that the strength of the descendant of the demon sect is more terrifying than rumored. Yao Basian's words did make Dao Wushang a little tempted. But he also knew that being able to kill the three of Qi Wushuan made Yao Basian, who had the body of the sky demon, so fearful. The strength of Zhang Chen, the descendant of the demon sect, was not before, definitely far beyond his expectations. His strength is indeed not weak, but he is just dragging you along just in case. In a word, when the plan is successful and the inheritance of the gods is yours, will you do it or not? Yao Basian didn't talk nonsense and just gave way to Wu Shi's statement. No one knows when Zhang Chen will appear, and he doesn't have the time to get entangled. Well, I hope you won't break the contract. After taking a look at the blood-refining evil formation, Dao Wuliang pondered for a few breaths before agreeing. If he could obtain the inheritance of an ancient god, he would have the hope of competing for it besides the Taoist son of God. Although the status of being the first in the sequence is also very high in Taoism. But how can it be compared to the position of the descendant of the Son of God? If you don't step into the position of the Son of God, you will always be stepped on. Don't worry, the inheritance of the gods is of no use to me, and breaking the contract will not do me any good. Take this formation flag and hide it. Wait for the descendants of the demon sect to come out and listen to my orders. Yao Basian turned his right hand and handed an ancient bloody formation flag to Dao Wuliang. 2 more to go. After Dao Wuliang's figure disappeared into the evil formation, a sly smile appeared at the corner of Yao Batian's mouth. Whoosh hoop whoosh, not long after, a large number of young prodigies swarmed out of the whirlpool in the sea. Those who had been guarding the outside world. Yao Basian repeated his old tricks and once again won over 2 geniuses with heavy profits. Those 2 people also had extraordinary backgrounds and were the geniuses of the 9 Dragons Immortal Palace and the Taiyuan Immortal Clan. This made Yao Basian a little lucky. These top orthodoxies are just geniuses. If their successor, the Son of God, comes, then his rhetoric will really be of no use. The secret realm of the gods. In the ancient temple, Yanur, who had been refining the divine spirit fruit, was already on the side, sitting cross-legged and meditating. Instead, it was Yuan Tian and the talented geniuses from Zhou Wuiping who arrived. Even if it was frantically refined and absorbed by several people, that ball of divine energy still had vast energy. After all, Yan'er, Yuan Tian, Zhou Wuxiang and others have not even entered the realm of Shinto. With their carriers, no matter how much they were refined, they could not completely absorb the divine spirit fruit. As for Zhang Chen, his whole body was shining brightly, and he had a vast and ancient aura. Behind him, ancient idols appeared one after another, and then quickly disappeared. This is the divine elephant's prison suppressing power, making a rapid breakthrough. When he was practicing the divine elephant's prison suppressing power, Zhang Chen was also a Shen Shen, comprehending that one Qi can transform the three pure ones. Zhang Chen has already understood the secret radiating ancient skills he obtained this time, including Zi Mi and the 8-9 heavenly skills. But one Qi transformed into three pure beings, but Zhang Chen was still a little confused. The more he practices, the more Zhang Chen is able to realize that the extremely mysterious law of the Great Dao is involved in the transformation of one Qi into three pure beings. One Qi, three purities. Zhang Chen only felt that in a vast world, a long river of time was flowing endlessly. At both the upper end and the lower end of the long river of time, there is a hazy figure emerging. Although he couldn't see clearly, Zhang Chen knew that the hazy figures upstream and downstream were all transformed by him. Call. After an unknown amount of time, Zhang Chen slowly exhaled and woke up from seclusion. Unknowingly, Zhang Chen was already covered in sweat. The mysterious feeling just now was so profound that Zhang Chen there is a feeling that the soul is shattered. It seems that with the current level of cultivation, it is still not possible to detect the laws of the Great Road contained in the one Qi transformation of the three pure states. Of course, the previous insights of being in the long river of time also gave Zhang Chen some vague gains. One Qi, the great law of transforming the three pure states, is very likely to have something to do with the past, present, and future. It is precisely because it involves time, space, cause and effect, reincarnation, etc., that it is extremely profound. Little Lord. Seeing Zhang Chen wake up, Yan'er, Yuan Tian, Zhou Wuxiang and others who were guarding the side all saluted. It's over. Zhang Chen looked at the altar. Nearly 2/3 of the divine Dao fruit on the altar were still unrefined. However, their cultivation level had made quite a breakthrough. Yan'er was condensing the divine fire and rushing towards it. Entering the void god realm is only a matter of time. Yuan Tian has entered the Wanshao realm from the Soul Palace realm, with the fastest breakthrough speed. But the one who has made the most amazing progress is Zhou Wuxiang. He has not only condensed the divine fire, but has also practiced reaching the 5th level of the virtual god realm. You can feel that slight fluctuations of gods and demons are emerging in Zhou Wuxiang's body. Descendants of gods and demons. After Zhang Chen sensed it, he knew the bloodline in Zhou Wuxiang's body.